ANNAPRO is a brand that specializes in designing and manufacturing high-quality game console accessories. Their story began with a passion for gaming and a desire to enhance the gaming experience for players worldwide. That's just me reading their about page. We're going to be reviewing a few Anna accessories. I'll leave timestamps in the description down below as per usual. Consider liking it if you want to like it, subscribe if you want. And yeah, we're going to start with the carrying case, so let's get right into it. Alright, this is the ANNAPRO carrying case for the Meta Quest 3. We're going to start with this. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and remove this little paper if I can. Okay, wonderful. This is the back. It kind of shows you how you would have things set up. Headset goes here, controller's in the middle, and it carries your VR headset, touch controller, and head strap. Wow. So right off the bat, we have a PU leather, a polyurethane leather shell. It's nice and soft, super soft. It covers the entire shell of the case. So that's really nice. On the sides here, we have a zipper with a water sealing zipper. This is a water sealed case, so you can take it out in the rain or snow, and it should be okay. So let's go ahead and unzip this bad boy. Before we get there, though, I do really quickly want to talk about the strap itself. Now, if you look at the strap from the Quest 2 carrying case by ANNAPRO, it does look much better. It has a wider handle on top that you could grab, and it has an option for a longer strap on the side. So, in my opinion, this strap is a downgrade coming from the Quest 2 version of the carrying case. But if you think about it, I think it's because of the weather sealing. So they just try to make a more simple design to make sure that it is weather sealed. Okay, so that's just something I noticed myself when looking at their products. So right off the bat, when you open it, it comes with a nice felt carrying case. This is to throw all your cables in, maybe controllers, things you don't want banging around in here and scratching things. So it's nice that they give you that. That's really fantastic. Looking inside, the fabric is very nice. It has an imprinted design here for the Quest and for your controllers. It has a little Velcro strap here as well to keep things in place so they're not wiggling around. Although they say to strap down your headset, I'll do a demonstration here. I think it's better to strap down your controllers because the controllers can move around. They're not secure when the strap is over. They can still wiggle around, and if they come out and go forward, you'll see they'll go into the lens area of your headset, and that's not good. And then, of course, it has a nice internal zipper compartment, again, for keeping things like whatever, batteries or cables and stuff like that. You could throw this felt pack in there as well, just to keep things in place there. So I do want to do a couple of tests here. We'll try to make this as quick as simple as possible. The first test we're going to see is the controllers going in here. So we have one controller here. I'm assuming this is how they would go, perhaps, maybe. This way. They would go this way. I'm trying to look at how this is designed. This is an imprint for the joystick. So we have their controller grips on it, on this one. So the default fits fine. I expected that. But will it fit with their own brand joysticks or controller grips? And the answer is kind of. It doesn't fit in there nicely because the side of the strap is going downwards. That's how it wants to go, right? Because that, again, the joystick cutout is on the inside. So this is the way it would go. And it doesn't quite work. And the other way, obviously, it's not going to work either. So, yeah, I always try to do that because I find it fascinating. So what I would recommend is doing this. I would recommend strapping these bad boys down as much as you can because, again, I'll show you. If you put the headset in there, and this is the test I wanted to do too. I wanted to see what head straps might have to tighten this. Here, let's see if you could see it all. We'll tighten that. Maybe it's too tight. So I wanted to test if the Bobo VR could fit in here. The Bobo VR is probably one of the taller headsets because of this. It doesn't have a flimsy strap up top, and it has this big thing. So if the Bobo VR could fit in here with the battery pack on the back too, then I think any head strap can fit in here. So let's kind of get that nice and snug. I think it's where it should be. Now, this is how it would want you to strap it, right? Which is ridiculous. With this headset, it's so big. I don't know if you could see all of that. But so that's the issue I was talking about here. So if these controllers, I'm going to pull this one out just so you could see in there. If this controller decides to come loose and, oh no, it goes that direction, you know, suddenly your lenses are right there. So suddenly things are going to get scratched up. So in my opinion, you should strap down the controllers there if you can. And then that way, hopefully that will keep them in place. And the headset doesn't need to be strapped down because once it's closed, it's fine. And it's not going to work. The Bobo VR is not it for this case. It's not going to work. I don't think maybe there's many configurations. I'm trying to think, how else can I assemble it? No. Yeah, so the Bobo VR doesn't work. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate it because it's pointless, but it is very obvious that this will work. This is the Zyber VR strap. I don't have it out now, but I think the QH3 strap that I reviewed recently would fit in here as well. But as far as the Bobo VR, unfortunately, because it's such a tall design and it doesn't have any straps that can really like fold down or anything, if you want to throw it in there as it is, it's not going to fit. But it will fit other, if you don't have the Bobo VR, it will fit other headsets just fine. And yeah, I think it's a great carrying case otherwise. The only concern is strapping the controllers down, right? But what you can do if you really want to be safe, which is what I would recommend doing, put these in here. Okay. Tighten this bad boy up. Boom, 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 boom. Unzip this. Put them on the bottom because the top is where the lenses will be and things. And then just carry your controllers in here. That way, you know they're not going to be wiggling around. I don't think this strap is trustworthy to hold the controllers in place. It is a very kind of slingshot, you know, like very elastic band. It's not that tight. And I think if it were to strap down the controllers, I would rather have a band going from here on the side to the opposite side down here. And then that way the band could go directly across just the controllers to keep them secure. If I were to upgrade this design, that's the change I would make. The strap would be here too, maybe, if you want to continue to hold the headset. But I would definitely have a band on either side here to strap directly over the controllers. So anyway, outside of that, you know, the controllers could go here, boom, and it is a nice case. All things considered, it is gonna protect your Quest 3, and it's pretty nice. It's the weatherproof design is I think a big bonus, you know, for people who are dealing with going outside in the rain and the cold and the snow. It's horrible, isn't it? All right, that's my carrying case review. Let's go ahead and move on to the controller grips. All right, so here we have the controller grips. I have it all disassembled here. This is what it's going to look like when it is all set up. The blue color is fantastic. I enjoy it personally. There's orange to choose from, as well as a black standard grip as well, which looks nice. So it is kind of easy to install. I'm going to do a quick demonstration here. So we're going to pop off the battery cover. We're going to remove the battery. Now, make note, see how I had to remove the battery, how I had to pull it like that? That's because on the inside, in here, it's kind of concave. So it's kind of grooved out. So you have to kind of pull it down first before you can take it out of that little section, because it kind of holds on to this section. Make note of that, okay? We're going to remove the cabling or the grip, whatever. And then we're going to put on the other battery compartment by just popping it on like you normally would. You're going to thread this through this little slot here if it's not already. And then you're going to tie it on here by doing that. okay? And that is so the battery, when you put the battery in, make sure it's like that. That's so the battery, you should be able to easily remove it now. But remember how I said it's like concave back there, so it's actually kind of almost gripping the top of that battery, the positive side. So again, you have to push down in order to remove the battery. So it's harder to get your finger in there because this section here now is kind of blocked off. So this battery hole, it's not exactly functional. Again, I'm trying really hard. I don't want to, like, look at this. I'm trying so hard to pull this tab that's supposed to make the battery easy to remove. Again, it's because you have to push back first, and it's really stuck in there. If you really pull, how I got this off is I had to really yank it, but it's not ideal. This is not ideal, okay? So moving forward, let's just quickly and easily slide it in like this. It's all silicone, so you could just really tug on it and nothing's going to happen. And then that's the battery compartment there. So once the battery's in, it's fine. Removing the battery is a problem, though. Again, no. I ripped it. So, see? So that's not good, in my opinion, right? So there needs to be something done about that. So in order for me to get that battery out, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to, I don't know, really pry on it or something. I don't like that at all. I almost cut myself here. No blood, but I almost cut myself because this almost gave me like a paper cut, trying to tug on it. Anyway, so I'm glad I got that on camera. These things are pretty easy to get on. This is my favorite part of the controller grips. These little thumb stick rubberies, you just basically jam it on there and give it a little twist and they'll eventually just pop on, and they're nice and grippy, textured. It adds a dual purpose to raise it a little bit and widen it. So if you felt these were too small, then these little joystick things are fantastic. Now, the reason why I say they're my favorite part of the grip, I think you understand the battery compartment issue already. The grip themselves are fine. This material, fantastic, nice and grippy. This I love, the silicone, it's great. This part, the strap, is a little bit awkward for me. I wish it was maybe back here on the bottom instead of where it's at there. It just, I don't know. I have a pair of index controllers, and these are just so much better in the way that they're see how high they're kind of hugging my hand over the knuckle, and you could adjust them anyway. You could adjust the angle here for the top part. So if I wanted to, I could push it in and slide it all the way to the right. So if I wanted it more forward, I could do that. But for me, I like it right here. That feels good to me. So anyway, there's adjustability here. Obviously, I'm not asking for crazy adjustability here, but a little bit would have been nice. And I think the way that you have to wear these it's a little bit awkward. So if I want to hold the controller naturally, this is how I would hold it. And look at the strap. The strap is almost laying on top of my knuckles on this side, right? It's almost coming off because that's how high the strap needs to be in order for me to have a neutral grip on the controller. If I wear it how I would, expect it to be worn, which is up here, then suddenly the controller, like, this is where I would put the thumbstick, and then this is where so I'm a little bit angled weird. It could just be my hand. I'm not so certain. Yeah, anyway, I wish there were maybe some minor adjustments here or something. I don't know. The strap itself also is a harder material. It's Velcro, right? So, but it's on this kind of harder material, which isn't exactly comfortable when you're putting it on and off. It kind of, scratches against your skin. It's not the nicest, I'm going to be honest. But it does serve its function, to be fair. When I am playing games, So let's talk about the positives now. When I am playing games, it does serve its function where it feels like the index controllers, where I could just, easily pop them on. I'm ready to go. I don't have to play around with the little string and, put it around my wrist and then tighten it. And it gets kind of awkward, how you do this. So if you do want controller grips, these are okay, but they do have some issues there, which we did mention. That being said, when I was using them, I got a new personal best on Beat Saber. So the tracking is wonderful. Whatever tracking points they have here are great. I didn't lose tracking once. It felt like I wasn't using anything on my controllers. So the tracking was good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll move on to the silicone face pad next. All right, now we're going to take a look at the silicone facial interface. Now, this does a couple of things. It has the added, first of all, it's hygienic, right? So you have an easy to clean silicone facial kind of slip-on thing. And the second thing it does is it acts to prevent light leakage. If you look here, there's actually these flaps that go on my nose and then come down here. And that's to prevent light leakage. So installing it is pretty simple. You just remove your facial gasket. You basically just slap it on there, and then you just start going around the edges, and you'll eventually, obviously, get it on the entire thing, and you could call it a day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's pretty much on there. You just kind of wiggle it around, and ta-da! Boom. That wasn't so bad. Just make sure you get around all the edges like here, see? I didn't do that, so just, yeah, okay, there we go. So yeah, if you look here, that's actually where that little nose flap would be. Now, the issue here with my face shape, when I was wearing the Quest 3, I have to put the Quest 3 a little bit lower, right? So I could see properly out of the lenses. And when I put the Quest 3 lower, what happens is this area here that goes over my nose, these little flaps, they do press down on top of my nose here. And what ended up happening is I wasn't able to breathe anymore. Because I was able to breathe, but it started decreasing the amount that I was able to breathe through my nose because it was pressing down. Now I have an example here. This is the facial gasket for the valve index, okay? I want to show you this because it matters. Now, if you look at the angle of the nose area here, this is pointed more up here. And when I put this on, it's not, it's first of all, it's barely touching my nose, if at all. And if it does, it's angled at a position that is at the same arc as my nose. Whereas the ANNAPRO design, the silicone design, instead of those flaps going up at an angle that your nose would naturally go, it's going almost directly at you. And that's what's causing those flaps to shut down your nose capabilities of breathing. So that's something to note with the silicone facial gasket. It seems like everything else is very well designed. Again, the color's very nice. It's just a facial gasket that's silicone, so nothing too crazy to talk about here. I personally don't really care for facial gaskets that are made of silicone because they just, I don't know, I don't like the feeling against my face. It is a subjective thing. If you enjoy silicone facial gaskets, it's not bad. It's not a bad one. The only thing that I would be concerned about is the little flaps here, man. So maybe you could cut into this material a little bit, and widen this flappy area, and that would probably alleviate the issue. I'm going to be honest, that's what I would do if I were to keep this and I wanted to continue wearing it. But yeah, a design flaw in my opinion. Anyway, ANNAPRO has various accessories not only for the Quest 3 and Quest 2, but a couple of other VR headsets, as well as a carrying case for the Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck. I found the ANNAPRO Quest 3 carrying case to be sturdy and quite capable if you need something to travel with your Quest 3. It does have water resistance, which is a huge bonus for anyone living outside of the deserts. The controller grips could use an improvement in design, but the tracking with them was flawless. I found the straps to be a little bit oddly positioned in my hands, but with some adjustments, I found them to be very usable. And it's nice to have something that's familiar to my Valve Index controllers. The joystick covers are a pleasure to use as well, and will keep your thumbsticks in pristine condition. Lastly, the silicone cover is a hygienic option if you're sharing the headset, or you just want something that's easy to wipe clean. It also serves as a dual purpose and prevents light leakage through the nose, even though it makes it hard to breathe. So if you like the video, I think now's the time to click that button. It seems appropriate to me. It's the end of the video. We're kind of done here. Now's the time if you want to subscribe, do that as well. And yeah.